So, Crazy on the Outside, Tim Allen's directorial debut from 2010. He hasn't made a film since, so let's find out why. Spoiler warning, it's because it's shit. Okay, so let's get right into it. These are the intro credits. You know, I guess that's kind of funny, but I just think about the guy who's in the shot. I mean, he's an extra, we never see him again. So he won't have gone to the premiere or probably even have been sent a copy of the film. I bet the first time he watched Crazy on the Outside was with his family and friends, and he said, "Oh, I'm in this," and they told me it's near the beginning. And then that happens. Like, yeah, thanks. I know I'm not Tim Allen. Because the thing is, when I look at this, is I understand why Tim Allen decided to put that caption there, because it does kind of look like it's saying that this is Tim Allen. But that doesn't mean put a caption there, Tim Allen. It means do your intro differently. Don't cut from one person to another with titles that seem to be synchronised when they're not meant to be synchronised. Because you know what? That little card thing that comes up with Tim Allen's name would be fine. If we held on that prisoner for just 5 more seconds and saw the next person's name, we'd understand, oh, this isn't meant to be the actor. I get it. Yeah, it's just the titles. Anyway, sorry, I think I might have started on a very finicky point. So what comes next? Okay, to continue that finicky point then, how come the first guy isn't Tim Allen, but the second guy doesn't get a capture? I mean, so the first guy isn't Tim Allen, but the second guy is Sigourney Weaver. And Sigourney Weaver? She's in this?
I can't believe you died.
But Lenore, knocking on my chamber door. Nevermore. Can't believe you died. Great, Tim Allen. So see you tomorrow, let's say 10 a.m? Yeah. And I'm doing the Buzz Lightyear thing, am I? No, Tim, you're doing the voiceover for your movie. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's where I play Tom, isn't it? Yes, Tim. I mean, did Tim Allen not care? Because it doesn't sound like he cared. What are you doing, Tim Allen? Also, check out Tim Allen's mugshot. I mean, what is that? I mean, it looks like some photo of an emo kid on MySpace in 2007. Oh, yeah, my chin is a bit prominent, so if I just do that, it's not as bad, but then you see the... yeah, what about that? Yeah. Light is not my friend. Mugshots do not look like that. It would have been better if Tim Allen had just had a drill like that going into his head. So who is Tim Allen? Well, he's the voice of Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story, and he came to prominence in the early 90s through a show called Home Improvement, in which he plays a guy called Tim, who has a DIY show. So it's kind of like a show within a show, but no show. It's like the opposite of Malcolm in the Middle in that the intro is really good, but the rest of it's really boring. I mean, it's not as bad as The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is shudder-inducingly cringeworthy, but it's not funny.
It's a great story. Unfortunately, Al's mom usually ate the snowman.
1 year.
Hear anything good?
No, I don't hear anything.
Close.
I mean, look at it. All the kids have the same haircut. That's not normal, is it? If you have a household where there's 3 young boys, do they have the same haircut? It seems a bit weird to me. And they all look like the people from the Tetley tea adverts as well.
But Tetley tea bags give all the flavour he wants from a good cup of tea every cup.
One lesser-known fact about Tim Allen, and a fact that certainly makes him setting the beginning of his movie in a prison interesting, is that before he became an actor, Tim Allen was in jail and he was facing some really hard time. And then he turned supergrass. So, all's well that ends well. So Tim Allen plays Tom, so I will call him Tim Allen, who's just come out of jail where he's been for 3 years, for video piracy. And now he's got to make his way in the world, with big ideas of reviving his father's company, which seemingly painted houses 70 years ago. Sigourney Weaver plays Tim Allen's sister, who he goes to stay with after leaving prison, and she's very kindly done up their father's truck so he can start his painting business.
I was going to wait till it was waxed, but I don't think there's any time.
But of course there's an obstacle. There has to be, otherwise it wouldn't be a film, or it'd be a better one. The obstacle in this case is his probation officer, also the romantic interest. Now I know what you're thinking, ooh, is it Forrest Whitaker? No, it's not that progressive. It's a single woman with a kid. Yeah, I think I've seen this one before as well.
Sorry for staring, but you're not quite what I expected when the word probation officer popped up.
Oh, well, don't even go down that road, because I'll grind your nuts and send them back to you in a pepper shaker.
That's more like it.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, buddy.
Anyway, the probation officer makes Tim Allen get a normal job, which means we see Tim Allen dressed as a pirate, because he's got a job at a pirate-themed restaurant, or something.
Yeah, need you to cover this.
He looks like he just finished a set at the birdcage and took off his wig. Which is kind of amusing, I guess. I mean, that's good. It is a comedy, I think. So Tim Allen's kind of trapped with his sister and her husband, J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons? Oscar winner J.K. Simmons. Then again, I suppose this is about the time he was doing full motion video for Red Alert 3.
Some may say my bid for president is too late in the game. Late to the race. Late to the party. Well, I say the party doesn't get started until I arrive. And while the other candidates are serving special interests, I'm serving the commies a steaming platter of shame with a side order of suck it.
Oh, I think I've left indents in the table. This is around about the time I started to notice that the film has kind of quasi-dark moments in it. Occasional, but not consistent enough to really work.
Statistically speaking, people who go to France and then get out of France usually end up back in France.
Or when somebody offers Tim Allen some sherbet dip, he imagines going back to jail and being raped?
You want to come?
You better learn how to pick up the soap of your feet, bitch.
Welcome back.
The real killer is what Sigourney Weaver says early in the movie.
I changed your sister's diapers for 11 months after the accident. Did I complain once? Cut him some slack.
Okay, let's think about that for a sec. J.K. Simmons' sister is probably an adult. I mean, unless his father had a baby with somebody 70 years his junior or something like that. So, when an adult is incontinent, they have to wear a diaper. Incontinence is pretty serious. If they can't change their own diaper for 11 months, that suggests that they're quite severely disabled or incapacitated. 11 months is a long time to recover from something. It really suggests something more like a chronic disease, or a chronic problem which prevents them from using their limbs properly. So, is Sigourney Weaver saying, yeah, I had to change your sister's diaper for almost a year, and then she died? So after that horror, we're introduced to Tim Allen's ex-business partner, who didn't go to jail and is kind of the antagonist, but not really. You're never going to guess who it is.
Surprise!
Jesus, Gray!
Were you surprised?
Ray Liotta, yes. And you know, for a moment, I actually thought that this movie was going to get good. I thought that Tim Allen would go to Ray Liotta's house, he'd have a look around, there'd be Joe Pesci there, there'd be Robert De Niro, and then they whack Tim Allen, and he's never in the movie again. And the rest of the movie is just about those three guys dealing cocaine and trying to avoid FBI wiretaps. Wouldn't that be better? But no. It's a movie about Tim Allen trying to avoid the temptations of going back to his old life of, video piracy, and become a legitimate house painter. So there's a lot of very boring domestic scenes. Do you know what would make this film better? 25-minute mark. They're all sat around the dinner table laughing and joking. They're having a good time. Oh, peas? Oh, yes. Oh, wait. What's that? Is that angina? God. Ooh. Tim Allen, the master of misdirect, has done it. We thought that this movie was a dud, but in fact it's about Sigourney Weaver and J.K. Simmons hunting down alien in suburbia. But no. Okay. Are there any other A-list actors in this movie? So Tim Allen goes to his ex-girlfriend's and they get it on. But it's revealed that she has a boyfriend. This guy on TV.
I mean, count it. So when it comes to getting the best big screen, there's no better person to see than me. Frank Fappuccini, the big screen genie.
Kelsey Grammer? Wait, what's his name?
Frank Fappuccini.
Frank Frappuccini. That's his name, Frank Frappuccini. I looked it up. It's not a real name. It's Frappuccino with the O at the end replaced with an I. Why not call him Alan Asperger's then? Or Theodore Sandwiches? Or Carlos Chilled Coffee? Or Tony, I can't be bothered with a script meeting anymore? What were they thinking? I mean, why not just give him a normal Italian name? Hi, I'm Frank Lasagna. And you know what would make this film better? If it was about a pompous, mishap-prone radio psychiatrist. If I had the credit list and I didn't know what the movie was, I'd look at it and I'd say, well, this movie must have won an Oscar. I mean, this is amazing. Look at all these A-listers. And Tim Allen and Kelsey Grammer. But seriously, I really rate Kelsey Grammer, which means that Tim Allen has put 4 people in his movie who are much better at acting than he is, 3 of which have the combined screen time of less than 10 minutes. Only Sigourney Weaver really has a significant part at all. But still, I guess they were doing him a favour. I mean, I'm not complaining that J.K. Simmons is there, I just wish he had something to do. Anyway, Tim Allen starts to be friendly with the probation officer's son, because that's normal. The reason they meet is because she takes him to the office. Because again, that's normal. A probation officer taking her son to the office where there will be criminals. What is it with films and middle-aged men and kids? We've seen this trope time and time again. I don't know, I kind of think it would be a better movie if Tim Allen took the boy back to his house, J.K. Simmons met him and said, "You've got real talent, boy. I can teach you the drums." But no, Tim Allen and the probation officer have this stupid romance in which she doesn't want to get involved because he's a criminal, and she doesn't want her son to know him, but then she's giving him all these signals, and the boy invents a reason for Tim Allen to accidentally go around to her house so he knows where they live. So he and the probation officer kind of have this thing going, and for some reason the kid wants a stepdad. But I think they really miscast the kid. He just seems too old. He's like 13. I mean, he should hate the idea of a stepdad. He's at that age where, as a young teenager, you stop playing Pokemon, hopefully, and start talking to girls. You try your first cigarette, you do a bit of graffiti, you get into some trouble. You hook up your mum with an ex-convict. He seems to be written so that it wouldn't seem out of place if he said, "What's that, lassie? Trapped in the well? Goodness!"
Sorry for the trouble.
There's no trouble.
There's enough for all of us.
So Tim Allen breaks into the probation officer's house while she isn't there, and he paints it. And she is furious for about 10 minutes.
Got it. So my youth wasn't entirely wasted. All right, come on. Oh, boy. Okay.
These walls are gonna need a lot of prep.
If you break into the person's house whose job it is to make sure you're not committing any more crimes, and you leave obvious evidence that you were there by painting the walls, you are an idiot. Obviously you would break in. It's like when you give a woman a ring and she says, "Oh, it's lovely. How did you know my size?" And you say, "Oh, well, just a couple of weeks ago, I broke into your house. I went through all of your belongings until I found a ring. Then I took it to a jeweler. He gave me the size. Then I brought it back. Then I cleaned up all evidence that I was there, like a psychopath." So after this, she forgives him, because of course she does, and she has the brilliant idea of recommending this guy who broke into her house with his 2 colleagues who are also ex-convicts, to a judge who wants his house painting. What could go wrong? Jesus.
Beautiful house. If I gotta take a dump, I'm taking it home with me.
Is that right? We've met before.
So one of the doofuses Tim Allen is with decides to steal a ring to give to Tim Allen's ex-girlfriend in the name of Tim Allen in hope of hooking them up. It's meant to be nice, but it's a stupid thing to do. So you think there's going to be a little bit of farce, right? He's going to break into Kelsey Grammer's home without Kelsey Grammer seeing him. The ex-girlfriend's going to see him, and he's going to have to convince the ex-girlfriend to give him the ring back without Kelsey Grammer knowing. But no, they just kind of confront it, and then it's like, oh, all right then, good luck. If the goo in this lava lamp represented a normal amount of tension you would expect in a film, that little bubble there sinking down is how much tension is in this film. And the next bit comes from Ray Liotta. He wants Tim Allen to go to San Francisco to start dealing with the Chinese so they can resume their piracy operation and Tim Allen can be rich but also a criminal again. And Sigourney Weaver stops them. That's it. So then Tim Allen's cool with the probation officer again somehow, even though he should be in jail, and he invites her to a barbecue at his house. And that is it. It ends with her and her son going to the family barbecue.
Hi, I'm Vicky. Oh, so glad you're here.
Me too.
Come in. Hey, you like meatloaf?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Cooper.
Ethan.
How you doing? Come in. Ethan, nice to meet you. Hi.
Hi, Angela.
That's our daughter, Alex.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Cooper.
Hi,
Nice to meet
Cooper.
you. I can take that.
Oh, great.
And this is Grandma.
Oh, lovely.
And I'm going back to work.
That is literally the end of the movie. At the very beginning, I said that this movie is shit, but I think that's kind of unfair. In fact, I get the impression that it turned out exactly how Tim Allen envisioned, which would make it a triumph. I mean, maybe not a triumph that I appreciate, but a triumph nonetheless. I don't know, what I'm saying could be tongue-in-cheek bullshit, but the way Tim Allen has shaped the narrative, so it seems chilled out and lackadaisical, seems deliberate. I don't know if it is, in fact I think it probably isn't, but it seems that way. You see, the thing is there's no character progression at all. Tim Allen leaves prison, and he's already reformed. He wants to be a painter. The probation officer makes him get a normal job. That's an obstacle. Ray Liotta wants him to go back to a life of crime. That's another obstacle. But really, they're only small little bumps in his plan. There was never a moment when I thought, oh no, Tim Allen's going back to jail, or oh no, he's going to give up on his dream of painting other people's houses. I mean, is Tim Allen actually making a comment about the false nature of the traditional narrative arc? Is he saying, do you know what, the guy would get out of prison, he'd have to deal with this probation officer, but he's got a good family around him and he'd probably be alright? It's like a Mike Judge film where the subtle humour has been replaced by subtle exhalations of despair. What do you think? Have you seen this movie? Probably not. If you have, why don't you write me a comment and tell me what you think about it? Otherwise, thanks for joining me. Until next time, like, comment and subscribe.